Hello and welcome to TVC News at 4. Let's begin with this rather sad development in Kebbi State, where 30 persons have been reported dead after a passenger boat carrying more than 50 persons capsized in Yauri local government area. Chairman of Yauri Local Council, Bala Yauri, who confirmed the incident, says the incident has left the people in deep sorrow. According to him, local divers have been engaged to locate the drowned passengers. Mr. Yauri also noted that most of the passengers are traders from Niger and Kebbi states dealing in foodstuffs and other consumables. In Rivers State, 18 persons have been killed in a fire that broke out after an explosion at an illegal refinery in Emoha local government area. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps also confirmed that 25 other victims were rescued from the inferno, which occurred in Eba community. The fire was caused by a local refinery that was constructed close to an oil reservoir from where the victims were scooping and bagging petroleum products. According to the NSCDC, the owner of the illegal refinery sustained severe fire injuries, while his son was confirmed dead at the scene of the incident. The commander also noted that most of the victims were youths, amongst whom was also a lady getting ready for her wedding ceremony. Let's now bring you updates on the planned nationwide strike by organized labor, which has now been suspended. This development follows a meeting between the federal government and labor leaders, which lasted for about 6 hours on Monday night. After the meeting, both parties reached an agreement with the federal government, getting a 30-day respite for implementation of the agreement.
Federal government suspends collection of value-added tax, VAT, on diesel for 6 months beginning from October 2023. 4. Federal government accepts to vote 100 billion for the provision of high-capacity buses for mass transit in Nigeria. 5. The federal government plans to implement various tax incentive measures for private sector and the general public.
We've had very painstaking and meticulous deliberations, but what is important here is Nigeria, and all of us are committed to ensuring that this country remains united, peaceful, and prosperous.
After 30 days, if these issues are not implemented, we'll revisit all the issues.
We have a signed agreement, and we have signed this agreement with the belief that government will act in utmost good faith. We signed this agreement with the belief that every single item in this agreement are implementable. Every single item in this agreement, we are extremely serious about them, and we wish to also reiterate that we are expecting 100% implementation and not a 99%.
The Chicago State University has responded to the request of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to release academic record of President Bola Tinubu in line with an Illinois United States court order. The school confirmed that President Bola Tinubu graduated in 1979 with a bachelor's degree in business administration. The CSU, in its compliance with the 30th September judgment by Justice Nancy Maldonado, insisted that it does not keep copies of diploma certificates issued to students. It explained that after diligent search, it was able to find some diploma certificates. It did not give the names because of privacy concerns. Mr. Atiku had, by his application, sought for 4 categories of documents from the CSU. And here in Lagos, the federal government has been advised to ensure that talents of young Nigerians are retained and prevent more graduates from moving out of the country. This formed part of discussions at an event in Lagos where the resilience of Nigerian students was commended and government charged to focus on job creation, improving capacity of Nigeria's industries to meet global standards. Former Minister of Education Obiageli Ezykwesili, who is also a board member of Nexford University, wants more improvement in academic institutions to help Nigeria fix human capital deficiencies.
Nigerian students, are resilient. They're hungry for knowledge. Nigerians, we found, actually believe in education and value education more than most people all across the world, actually. So we're very proud to have Nigerian people who we've skilled, and we've provided with the skills that they need to now be able to equip for global jobs. They don't need to leave Nigeria to be qualified for these global jobs anymore. They can qualify while staying home and access remote jobs.
If we improve our GDP and we spread the sources of our GDP, what we would have would be inclusive prosperity. So it is important that we should have graduates of this kind from as many institutions as possible.
Specifically to the Ministry of Education, we need to ensure that we do everything to retain talent in Nigeria. We're losing too much talent, too many people are moving abroad, so we have to do everything to ensure that this is done. We have to pay attention to primary education, secondary education, and then universities.
I want to use this opportunity to encourage other people who are yet to attain something like this to remain determined. There is nothing that cannot be achieved. I was saying the other time, like an African proverb says, no matter how dark the night may be, this hand will not miss the mouth.
And to other stories, the Ogun 1 Area Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has called for cooperation of stakeholders in the border communities in ITS anti-smuggling awareness campaign. Comptroller of the command made this appeal while speaking on smuggling and hoarding of petroleum products and its effects on border communities and national security. TVC News' Kazim Olowe reports.
In order to further sensitize the youth and other residents of the border communities about the negative effects of smuggling to national economy, the Ogun 1 Area Command of the Nigerian Customs Service, in conjunction with the Ipokia Local Government Youth Forum, have organized an enlightenment program for the residents. While lamenting the danger attached to smuggling and other negative impacts on the communities, residents and the nation, the comptroller of the command, Amadu Shuaibu, who was represented by his deputy in charge of administration, wants stakeholders in the border communities to partner the custom and prevent unwanted confrontation between the law enforcement agents and the communities.
Blocking our access road by the smuggler and their sympathizers, mob attacks of officers either going in pursuit of information or conveying seized goods to the government warehouses, skirmishes to altercations which often resort to casualties. We have lost scores of officers today and permanent disability, while our dear communities had also lost many of their members to the evil of these unfortunate demons.
He also cited an example of the recent seizure of smuggled ammunition and other harmful substances like cannabis sativa, adding that those things, when smuggled into the communities, will be used to cause unrest and direct the minds of the youths to negative things.
The recent seizure of smuggled ammunition and the usual seizure of harmful substance like cannabis sativa, popularly known as India hemp, among other dangerous goods, a good example of threat to our social well-being and national security.
Participants emphasized the importance of the core mandate of the customs, which is to generate revenue, suppress smuggling, facilitate legitimate trade, and secure border lines. The event was attended by community and religious leaders, top customs officials, and representatives of other security agencies. Kazim Olowe, TVC News, Idiroko.
Ahead of the 11th November governorship election in Kogi State, the leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, Edwin Clark, has declared his support for Ododo Usman of All Progressives Congress. Mr. Clark endorsed the APC candidate when he paid a courtesy call on the elder statesman in Abuja. Edwin Clark says he is keenly following the activities in Kogi State and taking all other factors into consideration. He's convinced beyond doubt that Mr. Ododo presents an opportunity for Kogi State to realize the dreams of the founding fathers. That's TVC News this hour. For more updates on the stories we're monitoring, you can visit our website, tvcnews.tv. You can also follow us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and on X at TVC News NG. On YouTube, we're live at TVC News Nigeria. Thanks for watching. Coming up next.